we are live right now.
I'm a poet and I know it. Ain't no countdown?
Nah, bro. I forgot.
Man.
I was looking for
Cold opening.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there. We can count it down if you want to. 5. Watch.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Levi.
Hey, we is live. We are live. Hey, I was telling Bobby, man, we had some people that was texting me like, hey, we going live. So shout out to Danny, shout out to Dr. Poole.
Hey.
They reached out to me personally. So yes, we are back live, man. Thanks for the love, man. So you tuned in to episode 41 of Technically Speaking, when we are giving you news
that you can use. Yeah.
Hey, man, just wanted to say, man, I watched the episode that y'all did a couple of weeks ago when I was out of town. Man, y'all killed it, man. Y'all killed it. Like, man, when y'all was talking about not getting burnt out, that hit. Because for those of us that wonder why we wasn't here last week, because I was trying to avoid being burnt out.
That part. No, for real. No, for real.
True story.
Corey was like, hey, do you want to just run it without Gmo? And I was just like, man, I'll vote just take a break, man.
Go for it.
We love y'all, but hey, man, you gotta take a break sometimes, man. So
yeah, sometimes we put too many high expectations on ourselves.
This is true.
Yeah, and that don't help nobody but nobody.
Nope, not at all. So how y'all doing, man? How was y'all weekend?
Man, my weekend was busy, but it was cool. My kids would have been sick for the last week and a half, in and out of school around. But you know what I'm saying? My daughter, she's a part of my daughter and my son, the oldest, Raymond and Raven. They're part of the STEM program for that the city help. Hopefully they keep it going, because it's a good program. They take kids from all over South Central to like Cal State Dominguez, and then they teach them robotics and engineering.
That's good.
Yeah, and then they also take them to like farms and stuff. So they went to a farm. My daughter, my oldest, went to a farm because my son was sick, and they were playing with pigs. I was like, okay, go ahead. Just don't sit in the front seat, sweetie. You gotta sit in the back seat. In the back. She was like, but what? I was like, you are not bringing that on my car.
That's funny. What's the name of that program?
To see how farms work.
Yeah, man. It's called Brothers. It's not Brotherhood Crusade, but it's something with it's a brotherhood building group, but it's not for just boys. It's for all children of the community, and it's by some Alpha Phi Alphas.
Okay, shout out to the A5As. They mentored us, back at Gardena with Beta Phi Psi, man. They had us remember they had us painting over graffiti and stuff, man, on the walls in the hood, man. I was nervous as hell, man. Like
I remember when we was I was supposed to go with you guys, but I got sick myself. When we were supposed to go and serve at the serve at the Nakaoka Center for Christmas, feeding the seniors.
I did that.
Yeah.
Yup. And go volunteer, talk to the seniors at the senior citizen home. We did all that, man. We did a lot of community service work, Bobby, growing up, man, with the mentorship programs we did at our high school.
That's good. Whether or not you were forced to or you chose to, it's good that you were there learning how to serve others, because that's the best way you learn how to be unselfish.
Yeah, man.
Is to serve.
Yep.
Look, man, I tell my kids all the time, I said, if you're not working for me when you get of age of working, you're gonna work at a fast food restaurant. You're gonna learn how to deal with customer service and patience and tolerance with those who you serve. They're gonna have to do it for at least 2 years. 2 years.
I like it. That's good, man, because it teaches humility, man.
It does. And you also get to learn that other people sometimes have problems, but it's life. Because I'll never forget the customers that I used to have that came in. When I worked customer service, and even in sales with customer service, you had people you will see on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis. And sometimes they'll come in, they'll be pissed off, mad at you, ready to give you everything. and then you have an anger sort of attitude towards them, right?
Yeah.
But the next time they walk through the door, they as cool as a cucumber. Like, hey, how you doing? Hope all is well. I'm like, you just told me that I ain't nothing but a child of God. You told me everything but a child of God last month when you came in here. Now you cool. And then, you know what I'm saying? I had to realize it's like that person probably was going through something that day.
You never know, man. You never know someone's story, man. How was your weekend, Bobby?
That was fine.
Just fine?
Yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry. You're looking for more. It was chilly here in San Antonio. We stayed inside. I'm very productive. I was like, cool. If we're staying inside the house, the kids are like, oh, where are we going? We ain't going nowhere. We're going to your room because we are in a yard sale next week. Everything is going. If I think it is useless, it is gone. I got a whole pile, and I'm in a whole pile by my back door right now, ready to load up in the truck. Like, say less. Every time the kids turn around, I throw something else in that pile, and I don't even feel bad about it.
Garage, hey, drop a bomb on that garage. Hey, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure, right? Yeah, that's what's up. Nah, yeah, it was cool. Saturday, like we got creative because we had all the boys and stuff here, all the kids here. So we were like, man, we gotta do something to get them out the house. So we made a Sam's Club run, man. Let them run around. We got there late because the way I was able to bribe them doing, hey, we'll get there. You could get the free samples, but we got there late. All the free samples was gone. We gotta go earlier. So we just did that, man. Walked around Walmart, kept them busy, man. Because Saturday was cold, man.
You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. Here on Technically Speaking, we're always looking for different ways to engage our audience and to provide different topics. And I think that just live on air would be good. Sometime in the future, let's discuss taking our kids window shopping and it being okay. Ooh. It is okay to window shop. It is okay to build up things that you want so that you know what you have to work for in order to get what you want. It's okay to window shop. Let's normalize that.
I like I like
even
that.
If you have the money to buy it, don't buy it because that's just instant gratification versus learning delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification.
Ooh. So gratification. Today's not the episode for that, y'all. We got a great episode for y'all. However, look, because I'm always coming up trying to think of like what's something new, what's something we can bring y'all something fresh so you're not hearing the same thing over and over again. Because if we're here to give you news you can use, that's different topics, but don't worry, we're gonna keep you on your toes. We got a great episode today. Corey, take us into our first topic.
Oh, well, first
our current topic for the day. Entertainment, man. What's going on in the entertainment world? That's your world, baby.
All right. I'm gonna say a few things from the fifth floor. Bro, man, from the fifth floor.
Sandwiches.
So two things. One, R.I.P. Roberta Flack.
I saw that, man. R.I.P. to Roberta Flack.
And if you guys don't know who Roberta Flack is, she coined the song Killing Me Softly. Not the one that the Fugees did, but they did sample it. And then The Closer I Get to You, which were mainstream pioneer songs that made you think. Remember when you first heard The Closer I Get to You? You probably heard that at a junior high dance or a high school dance, right? You know what I'm saying? Killing Me Softly, I remember hearing. I didn't hear her version until way after I heard Lauryn Hill's version with the Fugees, right?
Yeah, Lauryn Hill was the one who sang it. I didn't even know.
Yeah, Roberta Flack,
the original,
and she did. And me and my wife was talking about it earlier. She was like, you know what I'm saying? Wow, she did a lot of work that, you know what I'm saying? She did work with Donny Hathaway and a lot of writers and music artists, back in the day. If they didn't have the big hit, they helped the people who had the big hit write it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And kudos to Roberta Flack. You know what I'm saying? 88 years of age. Hey, that's, you know what I'm saying? Give her flowers. You know what I'm saying? May she be in the kingdom of heaven, rocking out with Jesus, Michael, and Prince, creating some bangers.
Man. Hey, man, they got Quincy Jones up there too, man. They making some.
Quincy
diamond hits up there, man.
Yeah, man. And then the other thing is, I'm just, because I'm be real quick with it. Drake brought out an album on Friday.
Was that last Friday or the Friday before?
Last Friday on Valentine's Day, I believe.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Dang.
Yeah,
Was
he did. I didn't listen to it. However, you know what I'm saying? It came out. Yeah. Just keep
that really feel, Corey.
That was 2 Fridays ago, man.
Yeah, on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But what we, you know what I'm saying? That was cool. But what we didn't talk about was because you wasn't here. Me and Bobby touched on it, but that Kendrick Lamar performance at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know what? So the first thing I want to say about that, man, is I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about a Super Bowl halftime show as long as they have been talking about this one. I want to put that out there because I've been here for every Super Bowl halftime performance since the MJ one, which I believe his was the first one. I believe his was the first one,
but he was one of the big ones.
Okay, so I've been there every year.
On the stage was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard much chat. Like, not, I mean, you might talk about it for a week or so, but dude, it's almost been a month and people are still talking about it, man. Like, I appreciated the conversation y'all had about that, man. And my take on that is just, if you understand Kendrick Lamar, he is a true artist, right? And his style of art is abstract art. So like a lot of people that don't understand his music or haven't been there, like, I'm still catching stuff from like albums he did like 10, 12, 13 years ago. I'm like, man, I missed that. Like, for example, right, on the last album he put out, the
Mr. Morale and the
Big Steppers, there's a line on one of the songs. He said, "Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song. Stop playing for me before I turn you."
I knew what he was talking about, and I know who he was talking about.
Don't play with him because he'll turn you into a song,
dude.
He said that.
And even on Euphoria, when he said, "You want to take it there? I'll take it further." And he did. He took it from May when what song came out? When he liked that.
Yeah. No, it was March.
March
like that.
So when he put out Euphoria, he was like, I think he was like in let's go mode. Like, here's the thing, and I loved it because, like I said, you never see an artist of this caliber really go, you know what I'm saying, Goku. He went Goku Super Saiyan. Think about it. Even when Jay-Z and Nas had their thing, they pulled back punches. The story's been told that they had to rewrite certain songs because
Jay-Z didn't pull back no punches.
No, but he pulled back more than what he pulled back some song. He pulled back on what's the one?
He didn't pull no punches on Super Ugly.
Not Super Ugly. Nah, he didn't. But the one that he came out with, a Takeover, he rewrote that 3 times. I even heard an interview with Irv Gotti say that he rewrote it because of the fact that the labels would not let him put on that.
Irv Gotti, rest in peace, Irv Gotti. Because
R.I.P. to Irv.
Last episode, man. R.I.P. to Irv Gotti, man. Because if it wasn't for Irv, matter of fact, we probably wouldn't have had no Jay-Z, no DMX, no Ja Rule, Ashanti, no none of them.
The show wouldn't have Ja Rule.
Nah, man. Holla. Cookie Monster. Serious for Cookie.
What in the world?
Nah, for real.
He was just here in San Antonio, and that was the one concert that I'm sad that I missed because he was here with Nelly at the rodeo. Yesterday was the last
they were just here,
rodeo.
Yeah, I know you were saying that on the last show we were talking. And you know what's crazy? Ja Rule was a verb, and they using that same verb for Ja Rule for Drake.
You got Ja Rule.
You got Drake.
Hey, Drake. I mean, I thought it was a wonderful performance. So the thing I respect about Kendrick, like, because a lot of people were like, how come he didn't do more hits? How come he didn't do more hits? Dude, this dude is so gangster. He just did it his way. Like, he did the show for his core fan base. He didn't care about trying to appeal to the masses. He was like, I'm doing it for my fans. My fans will get it. I don't care what nobody else thinks. And that's what he did.
I can give you a business aspect of it.
What's that?
You ready for it?
What's that?
The majority of the songs he performed off his new album, he's only PG Lane, not Top Dog Entertainment.
That makes sense.
With that, those sales shot up.
Yeah.
And that's his. Now he did a few songs that's tied to TDE, the one with All of the Stars with
Humble, All of the Stars.
Yeah. But also those songs were weaving into the message of what he was talking about.
Yeah.
That's why he had Samuel L. Jackson narrate the way
playing
he
the
did.
game. Yeah.
And then and that's smart business because everybody is going to talk about this halftime. It's the most watched halftime show, most watched anything. They said 133 million views at one time.
Yeah, the business of it. So like we have conversations all the time, man. Me and my circle, and we some people are just like, yeah, but he had to step on Drake to get there. And I'm like, dude, that's hip hop, baby. Ever since KRS took on all of Queensbridge with the bridge is over. It's hip hop, baby. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not feeling bad because this is there's capitalism in music. This is nothing but competition.
Yeah,
music business.
Who's a better artist?
Well, see, the thing about it is here's the thing. Certain people should never, I would say, especially if you want to go ahead and sue, you should never try to attack that man. You didn't see, I mean, if you did not learn what he did on Control on Big Sean's song, that was one of the most grittiest, grimiest.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go after a man
that was on the song with him.
With him. That wasn't even his song.
It wasn't even his song.
So to say this, Kendrick did a staple. He was like, okay, boom. Y'all should know that I'm this skilled in this craft. Be humble, sit down. That came after that, remember?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That song was, some people don't know, I believe that song was a shot at what's the old boy name? Big Sean. Because remember, Big Sean had that. Really? Yeah. He was like that little bit. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, he had that song where it was like ass. And he was like, be humble, sit down, hold up.
Yes. And I don't want Big Sean and Kendrick to have no. I like Big Sean.
I mean, but they cool now. But you know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of Big Sean, dude. So, capping off the whole Kendrick thing, business thing, right, dude? Like it put GNX, Damn, and I believe what was it? I think it was Good Kid, Mad City back in the top 10. He had 3 albums back in the top 10.
Not Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City is still in the top. I mean, the Billboard 200. Pimp a Butterfly.
Was it the Pimp a Butterfly?
Yeah.
Either way, he had 3 of them. That was back in the top 10. So it was smart business. His streams went up. He was the top 5 most streamed artists in the world. Craig, the whole entire world, Craig.
So
the business, like you said, Bobby, the business aspect is the marketing was genius, man. But you brought up Big Sean. I'm a huge Big Sean fan, man. So like Big Sean had a great album last year, man. But I feel like because of all the tidal wave of stuff that was happening between Kendrick and Drake, people kind of like looked over. Like a lot of people missed that. Go out and listen to that Big Sean album, man. That's a good album, man.
He's a great rapper too. I mean,
yeah,
I think he's not getting. I think when you talk about, you know what I'm saying, this gen's of caliber, he's definitely in the conversation as one of the greats.
Oh yeah,
I like him over Drake. Oh
yeah, 100%.
I think to me, him and J. Cole are tied, but it's something about J. Cole's humbleness. I think, you know what I'm saying, that's why like I can listen to Kendrick and I can listen to Cole probably like good 2-3 weeks. If I'm gonna listen to rap music like constantly, it's gonna be Kendrick and Cole.
Me is Kendrick and Big Sean. I like Big Sean better than Cole. But dude, so like the one song that stands out on his album that came out, and you might even appreciate this too, Bobby. He has a song called Get On Up. He sampled the song Get On Up from Jodeci, but he's talking about his baby son learning how to walk. The whole song, he's talking about helping his son learn how to walk and how his son falls, and he's telling them, get on up now. So like it's a really, really good song, man. Like who does that? Who makes a song about his baby learning how to walk? You know what I mean? Like,
because he's smart and he knows that other parents, other fathers have that same situation. They want to see their son or their daughter get up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, baby, get back up. You know, it's It's relatable.
Right now, it may sound like he wants him to get up and walk, but we all know that futuristically, when our kids stumble and tell them get on up, don't let whatever it is that you do in life keep you down.
Yep, that's
get on up,
yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's more to it. Right now, it might sound like it's cute because it's for like a toddler, but realistically, there's more to it. It's a deeper meaning.
It is. Yeah, it's amazing song. So everybody, if y'all ain't been up on that, y'all need to go listen to that. But speaking of getting on up, I mean, we gonna switch gears.
We got to.
I mean, there's a lot of federal workers that's getting up out of here, man.
Ooh.
It is what it is. It is. Hey, you know what? It is what it is, man. Hey, so
for the record, we are not being insensitive to you guys' situation. Let me just say that now. We are not being insensitive to your situation, because a loss of a job is almost like a loss of a life, especially if you've been there for more than 5 or 10 years. So you develop relationships, you develop patterns, behaviors, and for you to lose that, it gotta hurt. So my sincere condolences to the loss of job or the loss of positions for those who lost it. Now back into
100%. No, 100%. I mean, no one ever wants to lose a job, man, for whatever reason. However, you know, what they're doing is they're trying to save money from the budget. You know what I mean?
Who's they?
I think there's more to it. There's more to it than that.
Right. Well, I mean, the way I understand it is that's the basically the premise is making the government more efficient in cutting money from the deficit. That's the way I understand it, right? However, right, the only reason why I brought that up is because now they're flirting with the idea of issuing a $5,000, I guess, kind of
like a credit
to American taxpayers if and this is coming from who did this come from? This is coming from, I forgot where I got this from. I think it was Forbes. No, it's fortune.com. But Elon Musk said he's going to check with the president about an idea to issue refund checks from DOGE savings if they hit their $2 trillion savings goal. So if they're able to slash $2 trillion from our deficit, they're talking about giving American taxpayers a $5,000 check, basically. What y'all think about that?
You know, any money going back to the American people to help them get ahead because of the fact that some life situations happening, I'm all for it. You know, only thing I have to say about that is this: it's like, do it ethical. Make sure it's going to be spread across the board evenly, not just let one group of demographics of people get more.
I don't think that's the thing, Corey. I just think that people who pay taxes, just like with the stimulus checks, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be people.
And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a demographic issue. I think it's just if you're paying taxes and they have you on record as being good, then you'll get it if that happens. Yeah.
Because it's supposed, based off of what I've heard, it's supposed to go towards like if you're in debt or anything like that, it's supposed to go towards that. Like it wouldn't be like cash. It would be more like, okay, you can apply this towards some like if you're in debt in an area, or you have like credit card debt, or you have school debt, things of that nature. And I could be wrong.
I think it's more so what Bobby is saying. It's more kind of like the stimulus checks. Like they didn't care what you spent it on. They just gave it to you here. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah. But it did provide a boost to the economy. I mean, obviously you have more money in your pocket. People are going to go spend. It's going to be a boost to the economy either way. But I wouldn't put my eggs in that one basket just yet.
Put your eggs in that basket.
Let's wait to see. Let's wait to see. Not even me. I'm skeptical at this point. I'm like, no, we'll just kind of sit back and see. But with the federal jobs, let's hit that just for a second, because one of the things that I've talked about on the podcast is that the media is great about fanning the flames of fear. And when they are, I wish people did real journalism versus just putting stuff out there and everybody's consuming it based out of fear. Yes, they're trying to slash the federal budget. That does mean that government jobs are going to get cut. But not everybody in the federal workforce is going to get cut. There are quite a few areas of the federal workforce that aren't going to get cut. They are going to be exempt for this because of the type of jobs that they do concerning like national security, intelligence, cybersecurity. So it's not this big. They're not coming into these little GS11s that have been in for a couple of years and they're slashing them out. I just think it just depends because we can see it. There's 4 or 5 people doing one job in the government.
Right.
I see it, and a couple of the people that I'm close to that I work with that chose to leave was because they've been up for a retirement, but they were just dragging their feet. Just dragging their feet. They were like, yeah, they're kicking the can. And now they're like, shoot, I would be crazy. I sat next to somebody, she's like, you think I'd be crazy to not take this, right? I said, yeah, just a little bit. She goes, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my retirement stuff. So, okay.
Good so point. They'll still be able to have the option to retire. They won't be terminated.
No, there are so many people who they live to work in the government. I know because I work with people right now who don't do anything outside of work. They live to work. They've been working for the government for 40 years and they're dragging their feet because they don't got anything else to do in life. This gives them purpose.
Yeah. I've worked with a gentleman like that before, man. He was, I think, GS11 or something, or GS12. I forget, but either way, man, it was time. Like he had did 30 years active duty Air Force, and he did like another 30 years as a government civilian. Like, and then he just wasn't really coherent. Like things you would have to tell him certain things and updates like so many times. Like, nah, I ain't gonna say his name. Like, man, it's like an hour ago, dog. Like, and it was unfortunate, right? They kind of set him up. It was kind of crazy because like they let him apply for a position I knew he wasn't qualified for. When I heard he was applying for this position, I'm like, man, you don't even understand the updates I give you. There's no way. And then so he applied. Through like 2 weeks later, the squadron sent out an email saying, hey, it's an honor to thank Mr. Such and Such for his over 60 years of federal service to the government. It was like, ooh, they pushed you on out, dog.
So what they did was they gave him the position.
No, they allowed him to apply for the position.
Okay. But
no, you're right. No. They gave him the position.
They gave him the position.
He wasn't able to cut the mustard.
So then they had to let him go. The question I have is because you guys work in the sectors, do they give them the option to retire, or they just like that's it?
No one that I'm with is in that boat that I'm aware of. But him, it was kind of a forced thing. It was one of those. But he was able to retire. So he was
that's what I'm saying. Like he was able to retire, get benefits, and do all those things.
And it was time, man. Like he needed to spend, the golden years, platinum years of his life enjoying family and grandkids and all that stuff. Man, it was time, dog. Like, come on.
Sometimes too, you'll see in the government sector, we have people that we work with that I work under that have been doing what I do for the last 35 years of their life. I'm 37. They came into the sector in 1989 and been in the skiff for the last 35 years of their entire career. And unfortunately, you get stuck into this where I'm wiser than you and I know better than you, so there's no changes. There's no changes being done. That hurt unit morale. Hurt unit morale. Then you got people, man, I can't stand these people. If you've never heard this term, these people are gatekeepers. Oh. That means they have the knowledge of what to do to get ahead, but they're not going to let you know that. God forbid you get ahead.
Yeah. It's a mixed bag, though. Yeah, you have some of that. But on the other side, you got people like, because Dr. Dre, he's been making hits for almost 40 years, right? He's good at it. You know what I mean? Anytime Dr. Dre puts out a beat, I want to hear it. So you'll get some that may be open to new ideas and stuff. It's a mixed bag. So I think it's a little bit of everything, man. I think on one side, it is kind of like, hey, you know what? Go ahead, enjoy the rest of your life. Like live a little bit. You know what I mean? And open up for the fresh blood, basically. Yeah. And then
not everything you're hearing on the media is always correct. They're out here to fan those flames of fear. Don't feed into it.
They got to get them ratings, man.
I'll tell you what.
They got to get them ratings. We got some feedback from Danny. She said that they can keep that money. When we were asking about that $5,000 check, she said they could keep that money. She said she received the stimulus check and have since paid triple and increased costs. True. What happens to all those now out of work? So a couple of things, right? I want to touch. I feel you on that they could keep that money, and then the stimulus check, right? Since then, she's paid triple the increased cost. So, it's funny, man. I was hearing conversation today about the inflation and how the economy is all messed up. I actually posted it on your page, Bobby. Economics 101, man. There's no such thing as a free lunch, right? The moment those original stimulus checks went out, it's like you said, people started spending, right? Yeah. And when they started spending, demand shot up. And right after that, the supply chain
went down. Mm-hmm.
Well, the supply chain broke. So, yes, it went down, but I emphasize the fact that the supply chain broke. We're still recovering from that. You know what I mean?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
March 14th was the deadline for the government shutdown. What do you think we're gonna look like come that day? Because they had to extend the government shutdown to March 14th.
I don't know, because I think that has something to do with the budget. Like, I think Congress has to work out the budget.
Right. And the only reason why I say that is because of the fact that every time we get to a point where it's like close, and then it's like, they go ahead and get the money for it, right?
I was about to say, this is like every year that this happens.
It happens every year.
But this is a different year. This is a different year. We have a different administration for the last 4 years. What the government shut down so they can be able to do the trimming of the fat.
So let's stick a pin in that real quick, because Danny had another thing. That she was asking what happens to all those that are now out of work. She had that question. We'll go around the room. What y'all think about that?
That's the reason why I was asking about retirement.
Well, I think everything is going to be a case-by-case basis. We can't put a blanket answer on a question like that because it's not going to be the same for everything. There's quite a few people that work in the government. You have to have a bachelor's degree or even a master's to even work in some of these higher positions. I think if you have that with your skill set and you still want to work, you can move into the private sector if you choose to do that. It's not like all hell's going to break loose. You've got to be able to stand back up and roll with the punches when these things happen.
Yeah.
And that's just for everybody. Don't just lay down and feel like your life is over, because we all know we got kids to take care of, we got bills to pay. Life isn't going to stop. Get back out in the workforce. Get back out in the workforce. Use the skills and the knowledge and your education, and get back out there.
Good point. What you think? What you got, Corey?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I feel for the people who lost their job, especially when some of these people actually voted for this administration, and they felt like, okay, let's just be honest. When people voted for this administration, they thought that things were going to get better for them, and some of them it has, but some of them it hasn't. And you can't predict anything. You can't predict that if you go to a restaurant and you eat a bowl of soup, you're going to get sick, right? But you went and got your bowl of soup. Same thing. I don't think anybody expected to say, okay, I'm gonna vote for this person because I believe that this person's morals and his agenda is perfect and it's planned. But then that same individual doesn't have a job. That gotta be heartfelt. That you got to think about this. Like, did I set myself up this? Now my children and my wife, who were dependent on me with this job that I had, is no longer here. And we all stood for the same morals and belief that this individual we voted for. You know what I'm saying?
I can
happen. You gotta. So me personally, I just, what I'm saying, I'm very sympathetic and empathetic to that, because nobody wants to have their life flipped upside down, especially in a matter. Even when I worked in a company, we were doing a corporate merger. It took 3 months for us to be able to merge, and we know that this is going to happen. That we're going to either lose our jobs or we're going to either have to shape up. That didn't happen with these individuals. The new administration came in on January 20th, and we're not even but 1 month into the new administration, and people are jobless.
Yeah, you were gonna say something, Bobby?
I was gonna say something. I would like to actually just speak a word of encouragement. So my sister's a GS9. She works in a JAG office over at Fort Sam, right? So she was telling me about a couple people. I'm talking about head people getting fired, head people, big money people. Not, I think they call them SES.
Oh, that's a whole different level right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other level. And
That's
those
big.
are the people that she and I were talking about them going after. But this is, and I want y'all to listen to me. I'm gonna bring you a different type of word of encouragement. My sister, I had told her, I said, I want you to hear me. Even if dot dot dot, even if you had to leave your job, even if you were forced to, when we know who the source of our income is, and I'm going to make that biblical, when we know who our God is and how big he is, you can move out of a position of faith instead of a position of fear. And you can overcome those things. So that means even people who did vote for this, I voted for this. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come in and trim the fat. I knew that there was a possibility that my job could be on the chopping block, but I don't put my trust in Trump. No, that's a man. That's the man. I don't think so. Men are going to fail every single day. But I'm going to put my trust in the one who has never failed me and who won't. And so that's my word of encouragement to you. Move from a position out of faith and out of fear.
I like that.
Sorry, John. I know you're probably not feeling that. I know
you're good. You're good. I'm gonna put a different spin for those of us that aren't religious, man. You just gotta hustle, man. Just gotta hustle. Like, hey, hey, man. Langston Hughes once said, "Life for me was never no glass stair." So, I mean, it ain't never been easy. So, you just gotta pick up the pieces and do what you gotta do. But I will say this: I think it's a good time to revisit some of the stuff we learned coming up as far as budgeting. Make sure you got your 6 months worth of emergency funds and stuff like that, right? Because I don't think that gets talked about enough, right? So no matter what job you work in, you should have that 6 months worth of savings just in case. You know what I mean? So hopefully you had that. If not, I'm sure there's a bunch of nonprofits and stuff out there. I would definitely encourage everyone to get to their local workforce centers. They have different names depending on what state you are here. Typically in San Antonio, Workforce Solutions, Alamo. Look up your Job Corps Center. If you Google Job Corps Center, it'll point you in the direction of your local job center. That they hopefully will have funds. I'm wondering what that looks like. Maybe to help you get reskilled. Maybe you came from something in the federal sector that may not be relevant in corporate America, so you may have to get reskilled. Right. So use your resources, get with the nonprofits like the Goodwills. They have programs and stuff like that that can help you out. If you're a veteran, get with the VA. I just finished my VRNE program.
I just applied for the VRNE. Veterans, if you're watching this, please listen. I had no idea that this was even something that existed in our realm for us. So I'm gonna drop a bomb on y'all and just let you know right now. I registered for classes, I signed up and I applied, and I'm going to American Military University to go get my bachelor's in cybersecurity.
Hey,
I applied for that program. I'm a little nervous, but I was like, if God took me through that first time, he's gonna get me through this next time.
Yeah, definitely.
You got that.
So,
just get out there and get the resources,
get that little extra stipend on top of your disability and stuff. And I definitely encourage going into the science and technical field because technology is constantly growing, and there's always going to be a spot for you, I think, in the tech field for sure.
And I want to throw this in there. Keep in mind that just because you worked at that job, the most important thing you get from a job is not money; it's skills. You're gonna have that skill. So what you need to do, I recommend, is find a skill that pay your bills.
Yeah,
that's it. You know,
them skills that pay the bills, baby.
Because like I know when I worked at corporate America, I was good at cold calling. I was good at doing all these things, right? But my job was to sell. I developed a skill of cold calling. I developed a skill of running meetings. I just developed a skills of networking, prospecting. These are skills that I developed. So I can take these skills and move into any other arena that has, people facing or B2B, business to business, or B2C, business to consumer relations. So realize, yes, and Bobby, you're 100% right. So our jobs are just our resource. Our faith, who we believe in, is the source. And the skills that we develop in these jobs that we work, we can be able to be moved otherwhere. Or you know what? Go to Upwork or Fiverr. Start put a price on your skills.
Good point. Good point. Good
Yeah.
point. There's so many ways to get it. Yeah, you could be a virtual assistant. There's so many different ways to get it. You just got to get outside your box, man, and get out there and get it, man. Like, hey, man, if you don't go get it, somebody else, I will go get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I am your competition.
There's money to be made.
Don't let me get it all because I'm coming for it. You know what I mean?
What happened?
Uh-oh. G, you froze.
Real. I don't know if you saw this, Bobby. I don't. Who froze? Did I freeze?
Yes, you did. No,
you're good now, bro. You good now. If you heard us tell you froze, that means you unfroze,
bro. We're being asked will people who lost their federal jobs receive unemployment. I don't know. I don't know the unemployment system like that. I guess I got to answer that question with a question: is there enough unemployment insurance out there for them? I don't know because we pay into it, right?
Well, are we talking about the people who are gonna take the out? Because if that's the case, they're going to be paid until the month of September, which gives them plenty of time.
About them because typically when you take a severance, you don't qualify for unemployment. I've dealt with that before. Trust me. That's a whole different story. But no, if you didn't get a severance, you might, watch my words here, you might be eligible for unemployment. So I think it just depends on if the money is there. I don't know how much. I don't know what that pot of unemployment insurance money looks like.
Check with your local county. That unfortunately wouldn't be a question we could answer because it's going to vary based off of where you live. Really.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would think that when this decision was made, it was with the knowledge or something there that hey, there's something there to help them carry through to the next, right? But I want, and you may have to. So you know what? We got to talk about the pivot, right? So I don't know if you saw this, Bobby. The Bexar County sheriff was like, "Hey, man, if you lost your job, we're hiring." The sheriff is like, "Come work for us, man. We got a job for you."
Yo, I cannot stand Javier Salazar.
It was like, "Hey, come work for me." And you know what else you might be? If you've ever wanted to like have a job where you get to travel and see a lot of the country, maybe you can consider being a truck driver. I know that industry has been in need for a lot of people. One thing
first of all, those truck drivers are the backbone of the United States.
Yes, they are.
We wouldn't have anything if it weren't for truck drivers and farmers. Yeah. Truly. Nothing. There'd be nothing to buy at the store. No food, no produce, no nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody to get it there.
100%. So at one point, when it comes to truck driving and truck drivers, I know there was fear with technology taking their jobs because EV electronic vehicles were starting to make electronic trucks and stuff like that. And it was, oh my God, the AI and the technology is coming from my job. Well, recently we had a EV maker who just filed bankruptcy. What was the name of that company? Nikola. And this is from Fox Business. They filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I mean, they were dealing with some issues, man. They had some corporate scandals going on, stock prices dumped, low demand. And I bring that up to ask, should the truck driving industry still fear EVs? About 2 years ago, when we first started having these conversations, Corey, people were scared.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think they should because Tesla is even moving. Tesla has a big
factory.
Fleet. No, they have a fleet of trucks.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were trying to say. I was trying to help you there.
I appreciate it. They have a fleet of those big rigs. I know because I went to an industry show.
I've seen some YouTube video on those big rigs that are like electric and stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be around. Everything evolves, right? You know what I'm saying? So especially if they can be on the road longer, they don't have to worry about stopping as much, and they'll be more efficient with electrical vehicles, with solar, because they're going to be in the sun driving all the time. So they're going to be getting hit with the solar.
I wonder what kind of like safety features they have, like how some electric vehicles, they have like automatic stop features or whatever if they detect like a human being or another car and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have that DOT, Department of Transportation. Because they have books that you can't be on the road for longer than 15 hours without a break. Because if you are, and I learned that because I was pitching to a lot of truck drivers, and by doing that, if you're on the road longer than that, then your whole corporation can be in violation. So they're electronic logging books. They got to have the time when you stop, you took a break, how long was your break? If you work for 15 hours straight, you got to take an 8-hour break. And that 8-hour break, you got to stop wherever your vehicle is or get to a truck stopping place. If not, DOT can pull you over and they can find not only the vehicle, but they can find the organization.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Corey, is people don't have to worry about like self-driving electric vehicles taking anybody's jobs, but the game may pivot to those that are, in that industry might start seeing more of electric trucks on the road. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You won't see no remote pilots on those. Nah, you need to have some people in that vehicle because of the fact that those vehicles are even though they're electrical vehicles, they're still big and they cause a big risk if somebody is like on the side of that vehicle that you can't physically see, even though you're looking at it from a remotely location. You have to have those, got to be man-made. Now, how skilled you got to be to drive it, it all depends. So it can put you in that seat and then they can just be like, okay, well, you're just looking out, for these other people and make sure that nobody's there, but you won't have remote pilots on those. I can guarantee that.
Dr. Poole, he chimed in. He said, driving trucks is very dangerous. Your shipment can get stolen at any time. And if you don't program a robot to protect your shipments are going to get stolen all the time. Look at what's happening to the self-driving cars. People are destroying them everywhere. Danny says she needs a self-driving car so I could travel all around the country in a passenger seat, a true passenger princess.
Hey, for real, Danny, I feel you.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, look,
that's true.
I told my wife once I come to tell my wife and my kids know it too. Once I come into a level, caliber of financial freedom, I'm not driving. I'm gonna put it under my business because I can get work done in the back seat while I'm driving, and it's going to be a write-off, a tax deduction. I don't, especially in LA.
Oh yeah.
This is 405. This is the 110. And this is the 10. Nah, I'm good, bro. I don't ever want to be if I can autonomous drivers, please.
Nah, I feel you on that. I tell you what, man. A road tripping with a car with self-driving capability, it is different. I had to get because I got rid of my Tesla. And I'm back driving a regular gas car, and tell you what, man, you taking a 4-hour trip to Houston or something, it ain't the same, man, because there's times when you can just put it on auto, it's switching the lane for you. I mean, you got to keep your eyes on the road because it's detecting your eyes. So if it detects you looking at your phone, it'll alert you and it will let you know. It will disable auto driving for you. So you still have to stay alert to take over. But it's good technology. Man, I tell you what, the first time I drove it in self-driving mode, it was trying to switch lane. I didn't know what was happening. I thought like I was sliding over,
fighting the car.
Yeah, fighting it. And then I saw it was telling me it was switching. I'm like, I let go and it switched the lane. I'm like, yo, like it's a good technology, man. Like once I accomplish a couple of milestones, I would like to get another Tesla, man. But I got some other milestones I need to check off first. So, but I put that out there, man. Logistics, definitely. Since we're talking truck driving, right? Trucks, electric vehicle, electric trucks. I got an intern, who came through from the Army. Shout out to Fort Hood. I don't know if they changing the names and all that stuff. Colleen, Texas. Shout out to y'all real quick. Hey, but he did his internship with us through Skill Bridge. He was flirting with the idea of getting into cyber. Man, they offered him a logistics supervisor job starting off at $212K a year in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. $212K in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I didn't know logistics made that kind of money.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Especially
I knew that
if
from
they need people and they got nobody, like nobody's willing to live over there.
yeah.
Dude, hey, y'all need to look into that,
No.
man. Like, look, there's options out there. You may
That's
just
a,
have to broaden your horizons, man.
For real,
that's a lot of
Louisiana's got
money
some
for
good food.
Louisiana.
Say
Yeah.
what?
That's a lot of money for
That's a
Louisiana.
lot of money
Yeah.
for Louisiana,
You can
man.
live quite well there.
Yes,
Get yourself another rental property and just get some Airbnb
man.
down in BR, you know?
Well, we staying in touch. We talked about the importance of
There you go.
networking, so we're gonna be in touch and maybe work on some real estate deals together. But yeah, it's options out there, y'all. So hopefully, don't fret too much, man. It's options. You may just have to get uncomfortable for a little bit, man. Which
Yeah.
but again, logistics it's out there, man. So
Hey, but you know what? You can't
go ahead.
be comfortable and grow.
No,
You
you
can't.
can't. You
No,
can't.
it requires uncomfortability.
Yeah. Now, uncomfortability. You know what else is uncomfortable? Sometimes knowing the right way to talk to your kids about current events.
Mm.
Bobby.
It is, man.
Bobby, how do you talk to kids about current events without scarring them for life?
Yeah, you know, this is going to be a group topic because I think everybody's going to have or come from a different, you know, area of expertise. You know, whenever it comes to this, I think that it's important that don't keep your kids in the dark about things that are happening because if they don't hear from you, they're going to hear it at school. They're going to hear
Oh,
it from friends, and you don't want them coming home with ideas, especially that are different from the environment that you're trying to teach them. And so it's important. It's important. I think that talking about current events as young as 6 or 7 years old, when kids are capable of you know, comprehending things. Yeah, when they're at that age of being able to comprehend stuff. And so my daughter, Grace, is always asking me questions. She's 8 and she's constantly like, I heard this and I heard this and what's going to happen with this. And they got questions. It's okay. Be honest with them. Don't invoke fear.
yeah.
Let them know, you know, where you stand. You're like, yeah, I know this can be kind of crazy. So I'll be quite honest with you. Around during 2020, we lived our lives. We are probably the family that everybody hated whenever they went out in public because we lived our lives. We had parties at the house and barbecues, normal life. And so 2021, end of 2021 came around, and my older daughter was like, "Hey, they said something about like a pandemic happening." I was like, "Oh yeah, that was like 2020." She was like, "Wait, really?" But it didn't affect us because we were just kind of out living our lives. Yeah, you can be mad, that's
Yeah.
cool. We were just out living our lives, we let them know, "Hey, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, but let me tell you where we're standing right now."
Mm-hmm.
And, I do know that there's families that, you know, obviously that were affected. Um,
Yeah.
we weren't, but we just went out and just kinda lived our lives and stuff, and, you're welcome to throw that shade, but moving into into the current topic, don't hide it from your kids. Be
Yeah.
honest, be open with them, you know, and, listen to their questions and, you know, listen to their responses whenever you have
Yeah.
questions for them
Yeah.
and see what they're thinking, you know, pick their little brains because they may see something that you won't. Maybe you'll learn something.
No, good point. You know what? And when you say listen, actually listen. I know sometimes as the elders, sometimes we may not value what
Put
the
some respect on that.
young bucks are saying as much as we should. You gotta listen, man. You gotta really, really listen for real.
And you
and-
got to be informative.
yeah, yeah.
Because I had a little different situation happen because my last name is Alvarez, right?
Mhm.
And it may sound funny, but then you got to look at where it came from. So my kids, right after the election, you know, kids are cruel, especially in public schools, right? So some kids were in the classrooms like, your last name Alvarez, you're gonna get deported.
Oh,
Damn.
And I was like, and my kids came home. My daughter was in fear, and my son was like, you can't be deported if you're black. And I was like, son, like, so you know, like I said,
sorry.
it's funny, but I had to look at it from both sides, right? Because
Yeah.
my daughter was like, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, I took her out of a public school. I'm out of a private school. Now she's in public school. So she's not familiar with these group of kids because the private school I took her out of, they were in that school since they were in preschool. So now they're in public school in junior high.
Well, that's a culture shock. No, that's
it is.
Yeah, but they knew with all the baby kids like me, because I know I was.
I public school.
Hey, where you going? It ain't time to go.
It ain't time to go. What are you trying to do? Leave us? Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
But no, for real. So I had to sit down both of them, like let them know, like, look, yes, this president, the new president-elect was saying these things. You have nothing to worry about. Your father is Black in Honduras, and I was born here. You're adopted, so you're born here. You know what I'm saying? And real talk, your first name wasn't Alvarez. It was something else. But your name is Alvarez because of me. And you don't have to worry about any of that. But you have to think. That was everywhere. Remember, our kids go to school with adults that teaches, and some of them are in fear, and because even in California, there's a big fear because Los Angeles, high minority, high immigrant population, they're scared, and some of their friends are scared, so they're walking in packs. I literally on Thursday when I picked my kids up from school, I seen kids protesting around the school, with their protest signs, and I was like, good for them. I just think that it's better for us to inform them why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my kids, they're like, now that they know they're not getting deported, they're like, that's outside out of mind. But your friends may not be so lucky if something happened to their parents, because they're not supposed to be out here in California, but ICE has been moving around out here and arresting people. And it's crazy because I'm like, you guys have to be very mindful, because if my son would have said that to somebody, I'd have been like, that's wrong and that's rude. Go apologize to him. You're on punishment. Because of the fact that you have to realize people's sense of foundation is being shaken up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we can pivot from just this situation, because I don't want to keep jumping to politics.
I got one. So I don't know if this was a good thing or a bad thing, but when the Ukraine and Russia thing popped off, like I started explaining to my kids like the different, what this could possibly mean, like who, if this country stepped in, if this ally stepped in over here, and this and that, and this and that, and this and that, I think I created a monster. So one of my sons, like ever since then, dude, like he's been like obsessed with like Russia wars. Like he's watching like all these different historical wars that Russia was in. And then he's been watching like all these like theory videos on like nuclear war and stuff like that. Right. And then like
all that does is invoke fear.
or it can be able to turn on a sense of like information. It can be informative. Like, so why are we doing this? Right?
Yeah, and that's more so where he's coming from. Like, because now he's coming back to me like, hey, man, did you know when World War II happened and this and that? Like, he's coming back and telling me things. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of impressed. Like, he's actually like looking up. This is the same kid, too, who's like obsessed with Titanic history. Like, this dude watches a lot of videos about the Titanic. I don't know. I
love that, bro.
That is like we could be friends.
Yeah. He's a historian, bro. You better
love history, man. He loves history.
Cultivate that, bro. He's a historian.
Oh yeah. Me and him, we got a bro date that I gotta take him to the history museum.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you can kind of light that flame because I mean, being a historian doesn't really pay, but maybe he could do something with that. I don't know, somewhere.
Oh, yes, he could. I can tell you, you know why? Speaking engagements can be able to be earned off of that. Engagement. He can also hold good conversations with people around his people. I mean, sometimes it's not just the money, it's the quality of the individual you are. Because if you're in a room around somebody who knows so in 1875, this and then you can hold better conversations. And sometimes those better conversations can put you in rooms that your education can't.
This is true. This is true. So and just keep it real. When he asked questions, like I think it came off kind of as like the military in me came out. And I'm like, man, but if this happens and this happens, so like maybe I should like watch. I don't have to get too
reel it
in a little bit. Reel it in a little. Know your audience. There you go.
I think know your audience.
Yes. He don't play Call of Duty, does he?
Does he? He's not. I don't think so. I think he's more into like the Roblox type games. Okay, his brother plays Call of Duty.
I'm about to say if he plays Call of Duty, then he playing Black Ops, he'll have a field day. That game right there be like, oh, so you mean to tell me that the bomb and this and that and this and that in the 1975 and Korean War, the Yukon War was like, yeah, man.
So what do we? Okay, so in order to have those conversations about current topics and not scarred, and listen to them, right? Just be real. Know your audience and will it in sometimes, man.
But be informative, you know.
Informative, yes. And use those opportunities to spark interest, like you said, right? Because this dude loves history, man. So you never know. You could be activating the mathematician in your kid or something, the scientist in your kid, the logistician in the kid, cyber, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have these conversations with these folks, man. But speaking of conversations, I think it's time for a media break to have some type of media conversation. What's going on with that?
No, we just break it, bro. So for the edits, we can even stop the live and come back in 5 minutes. It's just so when we put the video in there that it could be like, and then we can cut back in, and then boom, go to our next.
He's the entertainment guy. That's the entertainment guy.
So y'all who's are tuning in, you guys get it live. But please believe, if you go back and watch it on YouTube, this will not be there.
That part will be. Yeah. Gotta tell the editor, don't put that in there. All right, hey, last topic of the night, then, man. Okay, we was talking about kids and current events and stuff like that, but now we're talking about generational wealth and what's that about, Corey?
All right, so I wanted to touch on this topic. Well, I wanted to touch on this topic because of the fact that generational wealth means so much more than just finances, right? You can have general wealth of health, knowledge, information, wisdom, right? And I was listening to Myron Goldman. Man, I tell you, bro, that man hits every time, right?
I like him.
You know what I'm saying? I was funny enough. I was in the gym working out, listening to him, and he was saying that, a lot of generational wealth, like the Rockefellers, that was passed down, and it took hundreds of years for them to be able to pass down that generational wealth. And then there was the farming industry where the kids where that generational wealth was made, and it got passed down to the next millionaires, right? We're in the area of now. Well, then the industrial industry came, and then it took 12 years. In that 12 years, that's when people were making millionaires, then where they can pass down. We're now in the area where you can make generational wealth within 3 to 4 years because of the technologies that we have, right? And with that technology, things are being sped up. So what took the Rockefellers 100 years to do, and what took Ford, Henry T. Ford, and all of them 50 years to do, we now can do it in 25% of the time because we have technology. And I think that's amazing. And so with that being said, I really wanted us to touch on generational wealth and what can be passed down. Right? So go for it, Gmo. It looked like you was about to speak.
No, I didn't want to cut you off, man. Yeah. Dude, I've been like obsessed with that, like that this phase of our life. So since the last time I saw y'all, I became a grandfather. So
yes,
congratulations.
Thank you. My granddaughter was born 2 days before Valentine's Day. She came early. So yeah, man. But no, that conversation it hits deep, man. Because now I'm thinking in that mindset of how can I leave something not for just my kids, but her and her kids and her kids and her kids and her kids, right?
Exactly. The Moreno legacy.
there you go. And I think, yeah, at our age, we start thinking about that, the legacy, right?
Yeah.
And I've been learning a lot about that. So, what you're talking about with technology, right? You're talking about exponential growth, right?
Correct.
Like, because when you start to, back in those days, as you're talking about, they were adding. Now we're multiplying at a significant rate, right?
Exactly.
So you got to choose your vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Some people you have the crypto option, you have stocks, and there's so many different options. You can invest in some of the companies we were talking about, like logistics, right? Maybe you don't want to work in logistics. Maybe you can invest in a logistics company or something, right? My chosen path is real estate, right? It's something, man. Like I would like for us to start bringing guests on to talk about like trust, in different types of tax shelters, right? I'm learning about that. Pick a good tax shelter where you can save money in taxes and reinvest that into something else that can grow exponentially, that you could put in a trust that can actually be left for it to continue growing for your future generations, man. So I'm here for it, man. Just to share my plan. My plan is I think I told y'all I'm switching. I'm going back to the sales team with the company I'm with, on business development, because I need to be able to go get that exponential growth, man, because I'll be able to, for every contract that I win, get a commission off of that, right? And we're talking about government contracting, Bobby. So
I knew what you were talking about.
yeah. So I just because I need a way to be able to grow that real estate portfolio, and I want to grow it quickly, right? And my plan is to grow a real estate portfolio that has residual income going. And I plan on putting that in the trust, and that's going to be passed down with constraints. Like I encourage everyone to go read that book, What Would the Rockefellers Do? That explains how they still have their generational wealth and why they will always have it. Read that book. I'm following that. My tweet to that is in addition to what they talk about in that book, I'm working on growing a real estate portfolio that gets passed down and in what they call a family constitution. In my family constitution, it's going to be expected that if you tap into the trust fund, you have to use it and grow it and put back into it. So that's what I'm working on, man. So I'm here for it, man. I love that conversation.
Definitely. What about you, Bobby? Talk to us.
I think that the idea of using technology to build generational wealth is good, because it seems like a lot of America feels the brunt of receiving generational debt and not wealth.
Yes.
In order to generational debt. No. No, that's like the exact opposite of wealth. And so of course we want to see our kids do better, but we want to be around to see our kids be successful, and see our grandkids be successful, and by being good leaders, being good mentors, showing good financial discipline, and especially at a young age, start talking to your kids about money when they're young. Let them know, hey, if you got a $5 budget, don't come talk to me about a $7 toy. My little one, Mercy, she's 5. She went to bed crying last night, and I told my husband it's okay, she could cry. She wanted an $11 toy off of Amazon, but she earned $5 yesterday because she put all the leaves in the big bag that I asked her to do. I had them doing some backyard chores yesterday, let them earn a little bit of money. And we go back to that delayed gratification. I told her, if you wait to the yard sale on Saturday, you'll have more money. So that $11 toy you'll be able to get. And she don't understand that with her 5-year-old mindset, but it's okay. Be consistent.
You'll get there. You plant those seeds.
Yeah, I am planting those seeds and stuff, and just do that with your kids. And they're never too early to start talking about money. Teach them about budgeting. Let them know what they can and can't spend. And hey, it's okay to window shop. It's okay.
Hey, she brought it back.
And the thing about that is, because of the fact that we are in a time where millionaires are being made within a 2 or 3 year span. There's people that's going from being broke, losing their job, but monetizing their skill set and making a living off that skill set and becoming wealthy, where now they can be able to show their children, look what I did. and now you have this. So now you can do the same and do that as well, because we're in a time, like I said, millionaires can be made literally not overnight, but in a few nights.
Yeah, and some get lucky if they do it fast. I'm on the scenic path, so the scenic route.
That's okay. But we grow on the scenic route, G. We grow on that scenic route. All right,
you grow.
You can do it if you do it fast.
One second. We got a comment from Dr. Poole. He said you can get a PlayStation 5 with a controller in the game, or you can get a Nintendo 64 with 4 controllers and 1,000 games for the same price. You know what? I want to build on that real quick. So, to your point, right? Talking to kids about money and stuff like that, showing them a fiscal responsibility, right? I didn't learn that term till I was in my 30s. So like you need to be fiscal responsibility young, right?
Right.
To that point, I wouldn't even get the Nintendo 64. I prefer to teach kids that making money is fun. Like I think we could do a better idea of, instead of putting this game controller in their hand, hey, put a spreadsheet there, show them how to budget. You know what I mean? And we don't balance checks anymore. No. But we have budget apps, right? And like for me, what I have planned for my daughter for her Sweet 16, my goal is to show her how to go get her own property and manage it, versus spending however much money people spend on quinceañeras or Sweet 16. That money could go towards buying a building, a duplex or something, and teach that kid how to manage it. You know what I mean? But teach them at a young age that's fun. You know what I mean?
Because
that's my challenge.
Because here's the thing. We've all played Monopoly and had fun. But if we played it the right way, we would have incorporated those skills into life lessons.
Yeah. Imagine how much money, just at our ages, how much money we've blown on stupid shit that could have went towards something that can actually grow interest and build value, right?
Right.
Look, Mary, my blood pressure, I don't appreciate it.
No, but real talk. My son asked me, he was like, what are stocks? Right. And so I educated him. I'm like, stocks is, because my son is only 12, I had to make it super simple. Right. I said, stocks is when you purchase part of the company in small portions. So I was like, so he was like, so do we own any company? I said, we actually do. We own shares, we own part of Starbucks. We own part of Apple. We own part of Tesla. Not Tesla, but we own part of Amazon. We own part of all these companies. And so he was like, wow. He was like, yeah. And then we own part of a company which is a S&P 500. We also own multiple companies. And so he was like, how do we do that? And I was like, do you really want to know? And so, yeah. And so he's fast with math like I am. So I was like, son,
that's good. That's good.
And I broke it down to him. I gave it to him the law of 100 to make it easy. I was like, if it's $100 to buy 5 shares of stock, right? How much is each share? $20. Now, if that share grows by 10%, I mean, not 10%, by 10. So it's $100, and then it multiplies by 10. That means $1,000, right? How much did your share grow? So he's like, okay, he did the math. He was like, so you mean to tell me I got $5,000 of shares? I'm like, essentially, yeah. Because what happens is they mature. And then I was like, what comes out every year? He was like, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm like, you see, I got an iPhone, right? Like, yeah, Apple come out with another phone every year. So if people flock to buy iPhones every year, what do you think that stock is going to do? It's going to bring value to the company. And so he was like, so you mean to tell me every time Apple sells a phone, you get paid? I said, son, it's not like that, but it's almost like that. If you have a nation of people going to buy something and you have shares and stock on it, it's going to increase the value. And he was like, wow. I was like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Because they have savings account. I'm like, what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to put money in a savings account. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you how to buy stocks with your own money. So you can, and I'm going to make him a certificate saying that Raymond owns this and he owns that. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is they don't know what fun is. They know what fun is in the physical but they don't know what mental fun is until they put a video game controller in their hands, right? But if you also put a spreadsheet, you also give them like real life experience that they can have fun with. You know what I'm saying? And then you can bet them like, son, you want $5 or you want 5 stocks? And you're like, I'll take 5 stocks. Boom.
That's good. That's good. Like start playing those type of games, right? Like, hey, pops, I got a good report card. Hey, you said you was gonna buy me X amount of stocks on this one, right?
Right. There you go. No, for real.
We gotta start like forcing those type of conversations and make it okay, man. Like, dude, imagine where we would be if our parents had the wherewithal to have those type of conversations with us, man.
Yeah.
Talking about money in our house growing up was like taboo. It was taboo. And it was always coming into a fight because there was never any. So I was just a kid. I was just,
No, I feel you.
There, but as an adult, that's not okay to make that excuse anymore. It's not taboo.
Nah. Hey, when you know better, you do better, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, so I'm taking the kids this weekend. We going up to New Brunswick, looking at a couple of properties out there, and I'm looking at one in Canyon Lake. So what I've started doing, we do road trips. So now it's a family road trip. We go to where I plan on bidding on some properties. We just make a day out of it. I'll go maybe
stop at Buc-ee's.
We're gonna hit that Buc-ee's. Yeah.
You already know.
Nice.
Hey, have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
I see them all the time when I look at YouTube shows, and Geronimo got this big red cup.
Oh yeah, Buc-ee's. You gotta go.
Paying us anything for promotion, so I switched it out.
Yeah.
You ever get down here, make sure you stop in at a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
So I would encourage our family online to IG, everybody, YouTube, Facebook, man. Start looking at that. How can you build something that you could pass along, right? Corey, his is business and stocks. Bobby, business and stocks, right? You also do stocks and investing and whatnot. And I think Corey, you also do crypto too, or not so much.
No, I don't understand it yet.
You also do crypto too, Bobby?
I do. Okay. I have quite a bit of stock with Dogecoin.
Choose something, man. Choose something.
There's another one. I checked my stocks like a week ago.
Week ago.
Yeah.
So choose your preferred way of building assets that you could pass along, man. And look, like I said, I would end this out. We'll read that book. What would the Rockefellers do? Amazing book, man. Change.
It'll be in the description because I put the link right there in our chat.
Boom. I like it. it.
You know, if you're tuning in and you have some ideas on topics, we're open to listening. We're very open-minded. We are more than happy to engage in topics that you find, especially when it has to do with financial planning. If you're into budgeting, I would encourage you to download an app, a financial app through Dave Ramsey. That's actually who I listen to when I'm coming home from work. No lie. 550 KTSA in the San Antonio area. I listen to 107.1 and it's a Dave Ramsey show. They talk about the Every Dollar app. Every dollar. You can see where all your money goes. So you can figure out how to cut down debt and where you can manipulate your money to make it work for you in better ways. So you can be smart about it.
I like Dave Ramsey. He has a program where they actually teach you how to get out of debt.
Yep. I've been listening to it every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like him. I actually followed a lot of his stuff to get myself out of debt. So some good stuff. Pick and choose, right? I mean, he has some good stuff, but I also like what Robert Kiyosaki says, because they're kind of like on opposite ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. Cherry pick what works for you, right?
Yeah.
And Grant Cardone, because like Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki don't really agree with Dave Ramsey, but they all have bits and pieces that I took and applied to my own life. But hey, I want to reiterate what you said, Bobby. So our fam out there, like hit us up on Instagram and whatnot, Facebook. Send us some topics y'all want to hear about. If there's something y'all want to hear about, or maybe we can go find a guest that could talk about it. You know.
So look, I got one more thing to say.
What up?
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Please share.
Yes. Other than that, I think we're gonna have a good night. Hey man, IG, Facebook, thanks for checking in with us. And we're gonna see y'all next week, right? We're gonna be here next week, right?
If Monday is here and I am.
if you're okay with me joining by phone, I'm actually flying into Baltimore this coming weekend.
Oh, you got your conference to go to, huh?
It's not a conference, it's school. I have the NSA school that I'm doing and stuff. So I'll be in the DC area.
Okay. I mean, if you got the time for it, girl, I know how those things go now. You might have to do some mixer events and stuff.
No, it's nothing like that.
No?
Nope, nothing like that.
All right.
It's straight from the hotel to the schoolhouse, right back to the hotel.
Well, we'll call in and we'll do that thing.
Other than that,
hey, like
y'all cool with me being on the phone.
It's all good. It is all good. Hey, thanks for joining us. Hey, that concludes tonight's episode of Technically Speaking. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night.